How's it going, YouTube? Today I have an awesome video for you guys. I will be opening up my 2023 M16 with the 4080 to do an SSD upgrade, which will be the Samsung 970 Pro, something like that. So while I am getting into the guts of this thing, I'm going to show you guys all the upgradability on this laptop, some really interesting things that I found out, and I will literally be taking off every single screw. So if this is your first time opening up a laptop and you think it might be like a little bit much for you to do on your own, I think this might be the video for you, because any hiccup along the way, I make sure to annotate. So if you don't want to miss anything, watch it through to the very end. One thing that was really concerning to me is if you've seen Hardware Canucks video on the M16, which I will put here. Yeah, you'll see that he had to like take off the rubber foot pad. I'll tell you right now that you don't have to do that. I don't know if you had an early hardware retail sample that didn't have those two little plugs there, but mine did have those plugs, the one that I got from Best Buy. So you do not need to replace that entire rubber foot. Just take off those little plugs. Just wanted to get that out of the way. If you guys enjoy this video and you want to support the channel, please leave a like, sub, and comment. It goes a long way. Alright, that's all I got. Let's jump right into this video. Alright, so first things first, let's make sure this laptop is nice and turned off. Once that is the case, I'm going to get my iFixit kit here. Pop that off. I'm gonna use this lid to like retain any screws or screw caps. Just make sure that everything is nice and secure. This is the iFixit kit that I will be using. I'll link what this is down in the description. I ordered this off of Best Buy, just so you guys are aware. All right, so it looks like we got little Phillips head screws. Thinking it might be this one. A little bit too much play for my taste. You always want to make sure you have exactly the right size, or you may risk stripping a screw, which would be very unfortunate if you had to go and order one of these random screws. So it looks like this is the screw that I will be using. It has a 1 next to it. I'm assuming that is the size. So let me start cracking into this bad boy. Yeah, that feels like it's free. Oh, that's pretty neat there that the iFixit little screwdriver is magnetic. Huge W. Each one of these screws is coming out very easily. No real problems. And again, I'd make sure you get the right sized screwdriver. So if you use one that's a little too small or too big, you may strip out one of these screws. Okay, that may be the retaining Phillips head there. These ones in the corner definitely have a little bit more juice to them. Oh, okay. Something to be aware of that I noticed right as I took it out. This corner one is a different size than these bad boys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try and keep it separated. And remember that I took that out of the bottom left. I'll keep it bottom left just so I remember that. Be sure to apply a little bit of pressure as you do it. I don't know if you noticed there, but because I wasn't putting too much pressure down, the screwdriver is kind of skipping in the tread, and that is how you strip a screw. So this one's also a little small boy, just like the one that was in the bottom left corner. So now I believe I have to take these guys off. So let me figure out a good way to get those out of there. All right, so these little tweezy boys did the job. Definitely feels like there's some form of adhesive on it, so hopefully when I put these back they stay, but I don't think it really matters that much if it's on the bottom of the laptop. But as you could see, there's like a stickiness, adhesiveness to it. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those little guys. Looks like the Phillips head is the same size. So not too bad there. This screw is one of the big ones, but just for organization, I'm going to put it in the middle right there in my little organizing tray. Right in the middle. Okay, that middle one was smaller than the other middle one I just took off for some reason. All these different screw sizes I'm definitely not a fan of. That's the one I just took off. So, it's going to be interesting trying to keep all of these in order of size, especially since that one was smaller than that one. So it looks like we have just this corner screw. I believe this is a retaining screw, but let me, yeah, you hear that clicking? I think it's captive. It's very interesting that if you look on the bottom of this laptop, I don't know how well you could see it, but it says for those who dare, like as if opening this laptop was a threat. So I'm going to try and pry it open with this pick here. I feel like there may be, yeah. Turns out there definitely are hidden little screws underneath these feet. Almost not even necessary to keep those little plungers in, but I will keep them just to try and get this back to its original glory. I believe I have now removed everything necessary to pop this lid off. So in total, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, a whole bunch of screws. So I'm going to try down here. All right, that actually worked really well with that pry tool. Just kind of stick that Dorito in there and okay, let's see if I could just get it out from here. Get a nice little pop around. Go this way. Yeah, it almost seems like this is all attached to the hinge. Oh, it was attached to the hinge. So those little thingamajigs there were just kind of sitting on it. Oh my god. So this is what the bottom lid looks like. Check out this little heat sink that they have on there. You have your dust screen, so no dust gets in your fans, hopefully. The third fan with the dust screen. Wow, this is just marvelous, honestly. And looking at this is absolutely incredible. I'm very glad that it comes with the SSD in there. Now you can get in here and remove the battery if it makes you feel nice and safe to do the SSD change. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it completely powered off. While we have this open, the third fan, the two fans here, you have your Wi-Fi card, which is going to be hidden under the new SSD I'm about to put in, the SSD that was already applied, and it does have a thermal little pad attached to it. This is the pad that I'm going to be installing on the 970 EVO Plus. And moment of truth here, one stick of DDR5 and an empty stick of DDR5. Interesting. So that means that in the past, where the half of it was soldered on, instead they give you this stick and they say have at it, throw in another stick if you want to get more RAM. That's honestly pretty incredible. That way you don't have to deal with the whole 8 gig soldered on, you throw in a 16 gig stick, you have 24 gigs of RAM, you just have an empty slot to throw that into. So that's pretty sick. I think that's going to be my next upgrade after the SSD, is to find out what RAM this is and to get a second slot of it going on in there. That's pretty sick. All right, as far as upgradability goes, it looks like this is all you got. Your SSDs, your changeable Wi-Fi card there, and 2 accessible gigs of DDR5 RAM, which is awesome. All right, so without further ado, let's install this SSD. 970 EVO. So we have the SSD. I'm going to slide it in here. Oh, actually, silly goose. Let me take that Phillips head out. Looks like it is the same measurement as all of the other Phillips heads used for the chassis, but it is a teeny tiny little guy. Make sure I don't lose that. Got a nice satisfying little click when I pushed it in right there. I'm not sure if you heard that. I'm going to drop it down. It should align with the screw I just took out. I'm going to apply it to my magnetic little screwdriver here with it inside of the threads. Push it down. Not too tight, not too loose. Beautiful. All right, next I'm going to get my thermal pad here. All right, nice and put on there. So now this is going to make contact with the chassis here and is going to dissipate heat. So as you can see, this thermal pad is touching this one, and this thermal pad is going to be touching right here. Honestly, this one that I got from Amazon feels like a miles better quality than this, but I'm just gonna leave it for right now. So I'm going to throw this back on, and then I will quickly show you guys the partition of the SSD to make sure that it's working properly. And yeah, so I'll get back to you guys in a second. All right, sorry for the lack of audio quality on this. I'm using a gaming headset to record this, but from here, all you have to do is type in control panel in the little search bar thingamajig down there, and then all you have to type in is admin, and then Windows Tools comes up. Then from here you go to computer management, storage,
disk management. And as you can see, here is the second disk that we just added. It looks like Samsung cheated us out of about like 167 gigs of data. Now we just need to partition this. So new simple volume. Next. So here is where you could partition it. Say you wanted half to go to Windows, and if you had Linux on here, the other half could be Linux, but I'm just going to keep it all right here in this OS in Windows. Here you could apply a designator to which drive it's going to go to, so I'll just leave it as the D. Next, all this stuff is good. All this is good. Finish, and boom. Now we have our new SSD added on here.
Alright, as you can see, everything works perfectly fine, absolutely no issues. If you guys have any questions, anything that I didn't hit while I was going through the video, please let me know. Also, I'm very curious as to what kind of RAM upgrades you guys would be doing, because that's definitely the next thing that I want to do when I open this bad Larry back up again. Other than that, I really appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.